Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing readings with the Lepus Tarot and the Everyday Witch Oracle and the White Oak runes. Well, they're the Elder Futhark on white oak wood. So why are we doing this? Because we've just had a whole bunch of solar flares, and so I thought it would be really neat to kind of do readings. You're going to pick a card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, or card number 4. One or all of them will have a message for you regarding this interesting development that is happening. The card is going to sort of tell you how it's kind of affecting you. And then I'm going to do a reading with the Elder Futhark on oak runes to sort of, let's sort this out and let's get an overview and let's see what sort of things we can do to help or not help, as the case may be. And then we're going to draw a card from the Everyday Witch Oracle that is going to give you a place to start on what the runes suggested. So, feel into the cards. One of these is going to have a message for you. One or more of these is going to have a message for you about what we're dealing with right now with this exciting solar flare activity in our solar max that we are having. So, I will put the timestamps in the description, and I will see you at the readings. Bye! Hello to all of you who chose card number 1. So let's turn the card and see more or less what you're dealing with right now. And we have the Knight of Wands. So there's something that's been going on that other readers have been talking about, which is there's a sense right now that people are like, I want to get up and get things done. I want everything that I'd been putting off. We need to not be putting things off anymore. And I want to get these things done in the world. Like, it's like, we really need to take care of things like once and for all. And we're like getting up. And so there's this energy happening for you right now where you just like, I have to do this now. There's no time like the present, but there's also this sense of like, we don't have the time to mess around anymore. We now have to do the thing that we came here to do. And so you're just out there on this quest to express your will in the world. So let's get some runes down and see what there is, what they are suggesting. Central issue, yeah. So now you're in the creative flow. These are really big, these are really tall runes. So I already expanded the size of this reading. Sorry, Calcite, I'm going to turn you. I already expanded the size of this reading because these runes are so tall. They're new too. I literally just picked them up today. I had ordered them and I didn't expect them yet, and so here they are, and I'm really happy about it, and I got to play with them, and it's like really cool. I'm going to lay out the entire reading and then we're going to talk about it. So but these are white oak, which is like, I recently made some connection with oak. Like, I had been sort of like, I need to find some oak. Like, I didn't know where there were oak where I was. And so I was down at the gardens, and then I saw like all around me were like acorns on the ground. I'm like, wait a minute. And I looked up and there's the dried oak leaves on the trees around me. So I'm like, okay, so we found the oak. And so then I was like leaning against them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, just this feeling of the strength that comes from that. So it's very exciting. So central issue for you, card number 1, people, you who are setting out on your quest to get done what you feel like you came here to do, which is really great and important, but everybody's sort of like, oh, I've got to do it, is we have Laguz. Laguz is the rune of the water. It's the flow, it's emotion, intuition, and heart. It's, I guess, kind of like yin energy flow. So this is like a yang, but then there's like yin flow of it. So it's going to, there's like an emotional component to it where you're like, I got to do this, and there's like an emotional drive behind it, and it's just sort of, you're unleashing these creative waters that you're expressing with. Leading up to this, it was your journey so far, basically. We have Raido, which is the rune of the journey. So there's your journey, and there's riding, and there's riding. So you're leading up to this, you've been going towards this, but you're like, now I got to take care of it. I've got to take care of it at this point. Like, I have to do it. So, and again, there's that emotional component to it. There's a bit of intuition that you're following, and you're just basically, your heart is, you're letting your heart lead. And this is sort of letting your spirit lead a bit as well, but you're riding on that. So, but yeah, so your central issue is this flow, and also just this emotional drive that you have right now where it's just like, it's surging and you are like on the crest of it. So what's going to help you the most is we have Vunyo, which is the rune of joy. Definitely let your joy lead you, and pursue joy, and also let your joy lead you. So this is very important as you're bringing through what you're bringing through. This is not like the whole spiritual bypassing things like, oh, only focus on the positive, but this is very much, this is where your energy is going to come from. So make sure that there is a there's a joyous element to what you're doing. Let that lead you through this. What isn't going to help is we have Ingvaz, which is Ing's rune. Ing is another name for Frey, and Frey is the fertility god. I usually read this as active creation. So a lot of this is going to be very much, at least in this one stage, letting your joy lead, and also, flowing with this and letting the emotions and let your heart lead in this. And it's going to be about that. And so we don't want to be, how do I put this? These are really big runes, and I hesitate to put a top and bottom because they're going to just balance, but but I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, so there's going to be a temptation to try to make things fit your comfort zone, and we have passed the point where comfort zone is going to be helping us at this point. I mean, we want it, and basically, yes, we definitely want to have that, but there's a certain point where we have to say, no, now or never, we got to do this, and comfort zone later, if there is one. I'm sorry, that sounded terrible. I don't mean it like that, but. Yeah, and it's not just let your joy lead you, but let your joy lead you. And this is basically other people's ideas of what joy is and what joy should be. You're just going to basically tune out that din. You're going to say, sorry, mana's reversed. You're going to say, this is not for me. I'm pursuing what is for me and what I came here to do. So you may be worried about your comfort zone. You may be worried about, the stability, the home kind of thing. And you may be tempted to sort of shape what you're doing into something that will fit that. But that's not going to help. Right now, you need to pursue your joy. You need to express your joy. You need to let your joy lead you. And that's actually, that what is going to help that is basically it's going to be your joy that you're focusing on, and that you are here to bring this through, and that you need to do that, and that doesn't have to do with anybody else's ideas of what joy is or should be. So your next step on the path line, we have Fehu, which is the rune of wealth and worth. This is actually going to be really good for you. Almost immediately after you start doing this, your whole life is going to feel a lot more rich. It's going to be I'm finally doing the worthy thing. And you're going to feel that with yourself, that it's I am now feeling much more of worth than I was before. And this is the thing that I am here to do. And I feel really good about doing it. And it's definitely going to be something it's even raised a little bit in this spot on the spread. So it's this is definitely going to stand out for you as this is what I'm here to do. What is definitely going to help you? And one of the things about this rune set, which I have discovered, is that there's no difference between Nauthi's reversed and Nauthi's upright on this particular rune set. So I'm going to give you a bit of both. The thing that's going to help you the most in this stage, the stage after you've begun this, is just make sure that your needs are being tended to. Make sure that you are taking care of not only the needs around you, but your internal needs as well. So make sure that, prioritize, and also, where you have things that do come up as an emergency kind of thing, make sure you're taking care of those, but make sure you're taking care of the needs around you for yourself, but also the general needs around you that you need to tend, and make sure that you're on top of those. Basically, that's going to help you stay on top of this. This is basically your foundation. So keep everything around you tended, and you're good, and then you can continue with this quest, and you will continue to feel this richness and sense of worth. What isn't going to help is there is this sense of impatience, and that's what actually drove you to this at this point anyway. It's just this feeling and that's actually what I've been hearing a lot of people saying is there's a sense right now of now is the time we have to take care of the things, get things done once and for all, finally do the things. We have to finally do the things at this point. And you're seeing that all around us, in the productions of things that you're seeing It's like the impossible task kind of things are like, oh, they're finally getting done, sometimes very quietly and sometimes very openly. So it'll just come out and it'll be like, oh, people have been trying to do this for years and now here it is. So that kind of thing is happening right now. And it's just this general sense of it. And apparently, there's a heightened sense of that since the solar flares started happening this week. So anyway, so there is going to be a sense of impatience. You're worried that you may have more. You may not have enough runway. You may have more road for what you want to do than there is road left before whatever this thing that we're all in sort of instinctively feeling breathing down our necks. But it could be any number of things. I mean, electromagnetism is sort of it causes a lot of feelings that people associate with that kind of thing. So I'm just going to put these to the actual side so you can see them a little better. So yeah, I mean, there is this sense of pressure. There is this sense of impatience with what's going on. But if that starts to be the case, just basically go around and say, okay, well, you know what? I'm doing this. This is what I am doing. I'm finally doing it and I'm feeling really good about it. And if anything needs to be taken care of, I'm taking care of it. So that's all happening. And so I can only do what I can do. And at least I'm doing this. So that's something at least. So next step on the path, we have Gabo, which is Rune of the Gift. This has to do with agreements, decisions, goals, and plans. It's always an exchange. Sometimes it has to do with a one-on-one relationship. Sometimes it has to do with like a completion of something, like you have X marked the spot kind of thing, like you've reached your goal. So not long after you have this, you will feel like, okay, I can check this off my to-do list. And that's really good. Like you once you get to it, it's like that joke about, I just completed a thing that I've been putting off for 3 years. It took me 10 minutes. I will learn nothing from this. So it's like sort of like that. It's like once you actually set to it, it actually doesn't take as long as you think it will. It's really just like this one glorious period of time that you've given yourself, and you'll do it, and it's fantastic, and you'll be able to feel very satisfied about it and complete it. It's like, okay, I've done it. What's going to help you with that is it will actually unlock a thing. Like what's really neat is that when you have done it, and you're sitting there going, okay, check that off my box, check that box off my to-do list, suddenly there will be this sense of revelation, like this, it's like doing the thing will unlock something that was always sort of there for you, and then suddenly there it is, and it's open and it's yours. So that's exciting, and that's what's going to help you in that moment. What isn't going to help is you will now feel like it's like you had this thing to do and now you have done it. So now there's like, it's like your options have collapsed as far as it's like you can't really, like your thing is like, now what do I do? Do I have nothing left to do? Like what's going on? We have Kana's reversed, Peritho, which is the lot box, surprises and fate, and Kana's reversed, which is the torch of the fire, but it's reversed in the lower line. So it's kind of like, it normally it's opening out in expansion, but now it's like everything's shutting down. So you're worried that things are going to shut down now that you've done this. No, you're just going to keep moving forward. In fact, this is going to help you with all apologies to the horse. This is going to spur you forward. Once you see the thing that got unlocked by doing this, you're going to be like, okay, really excited. And that's going to help you move forward. And the final rune in this spread is Avaz, which is the horse. And it's almost like you were riding the horse coming up until this point, but then you've merged with the horse during the course of this because you've connected with your joy and you've made sure that you've got everything in order and you feel worthy and you've done the thing and something has unlocked, and now it's like you've merged with the horse, or at least you trust the horse a lot more, the horse being spirit. So this is movement in spirit. It's Avaz, and this is you're basically going to finish the thing that you set out to do, but you're also going to be like, I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to keep moving forward. Now, as I promised, let's get a card from the Everyday Witch Oracle and give you a good place to start with this. Something that you can do that'll just like initiate what you're planning on doing or what you're hoping to do, and something that'll give you a little boost towards it. And we have accept love. So love is the creative vibration of the universe. So basically, yeah, and this all has to do with connecting with heart, emotion, intuition, and heart, and also connecting with your joy. So that's where you're going to start, basically, on this quest to express your will in the world. So that is very exciting. So that, card number 1, people, is your solar flare let's read about it reading. There you go. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 2, people. So we're going to start with a card from the Lepus Tarot, and we're going to turn this and see what sort of things you're dealing with right now with the solar flares happening. So we have 5 of Cups. You're sort of mourning a bit. There's things that you're looking back on now, and you're sort of mourning the loss of them. There are things behind you, and you can kind of feel them, that are going to carry you forward. So this is good. It's not like you're completely without hope or options, but you are taking the time right now, as you should, to mourn what is no longer with us, as far as maybe hopes and dreams, as far as creative projects, perhaps. But just basically 3 things that are emotionally charged, that are no longer in your life and have left your life. You are taking a moment during this time to grieve them, which is important. So let's get some runes down. Yeah. Because these were things that you felt gave value to your life, which makes it even more sad that they are no longer with you. Let's get this down. With the oak runes. Oak's great, I was just saying in the other reading, I've been looking for where there is oak near me, and it's not like they have a map. It's like all the oak trees on the map. But I was at the gardens a couple weeks ago, and I looked down, and all of a sudden there were a bunch of acorns around me, and I looked up, and there were little dried oak leaves wiggling on the tree that I was beside. It's like, you're an oak tree. So I got to experience oak, and it's just the feeling of strength and presence that it has. It's just really exciting. So it's okay, I need some oak runes. So here we are. So central issue for you, card number 2, people. We have Fehu reversed. Fehu's the rune of wealth and worth. So it is reversed in the central issue spot. And I'm going to read this a couple ways. First of all, again, you are grieving at this point. You are sort of giving some time and some space to your mourning of these things that have gone and that are no longer with you. And on the one hand, your life is feeling less rich because of this. You're sort of missing the richness that those 3 things brought to you and to your life. But you are still alive. And the other way I'm going to read this is Fehu reversed often has to do with inner. So you're thinking about your inner wealth, your inner worth, and your self-esteem and your confidence. So there are things that you still have very much with you. I mean, look how red this thing is that the rabbit is wearing. I mean, the hair is that the lagomorph is wearing, and it's like life. So you are still alive, you are still vibrant, and there are still 2 cups behind you. I mean, this could even be years that you're looking back on as I am looking back on my years that I no longer have ahead of me, kind of thing in some cases. But you have confidence, and you have life, and you have inner worth. So this is just a period of time where you're looking back. Leading up to this, I think you have been grieving, actually, leading up to these things. Whatever aspect of your life this is, whether this is, hopes and dreams, or whether this is years of your life, or whether this is just things that have gone that you had an emotional connection to, or people, I'm sorry. But yeah, we have Laguz reversed. Laguz is the rune of emotion, intuition, heart, and flow. It's the water, so it's watery stuff. So it's all that kind of thing. And so anything that has that kind of connection for you. And this is flow. Obviously, this is the water as well. The cup is water as well. So it's just sort of, as far as emotion goes, there's some upheaval-y emotions, things, and maybe there's even been a feeling of, there may even, for some of you, have been a feeling of numbness, which is why you're giving time to this, because it's you can't feel anything until you feel this. So let yourself feel this. Let this flow through you, and then other things, the new things will flow after. So here you are in this moment. What is going to help you is we have Tivaz. Tivaz is the rune of Tyr, and Tyr is the warrior god, and he's not all about war. He is about getting on with what needs to be gotten on with, though. He is about tending to things that need to be taken care of. He's about balance. So, but he's also, of course, about driving forward. So what is going to help you in this moment is basically taking it on and seeing it as a responsibility, like a duty and a responsibility to not only yourself, but the world. It is upright. So it's not internal only. It's like, if I'm going to be anything to the world around me, I need to take care of this. So you are taking care of this at this point, which is very important. So what isn't going to help you is we have Ansu's reversed, which is Ansu's is there in communication and manifestation. Reversed, it has to do with not expressing this, not being silent, being not speaking about it. It's sort of like avoiding the conversation. You need to have this conversation, even if it's just with yourself. So you're sort of worried about the conversation, even with just yourself. That could drag you down. It's like you don't want to face it. But if you get on with it and face it and treat it as a duty and responsibility in the world, then that's going to help you. And it's going to help you with your confidence as well and your self-esteem. But definitely take it on. You got to do it. Give it the space. Once you've done that, that will free up. That will flow through what needed to get flowed through. And your next step we have is Avaz, which is the rune of the horse. This has to do with movement and spirit. So your way forward from this, it might be difficult to start. This is why you want to let your spirit carry you forward on this. So there is going to be a bit of time where you're going to be like, feels like in the old days, like, okay, it's the horse, it's moving his spirit. In the old days, if you got really, really, really drunk at a tavern and then you just sort of threw yourself on the horse would bring you home. That's kind of what we're dealing with here. We have a situation where this has been a lot and you're facing this, and it's like you're sort of between this feeling of lack in your life and also just like building your confidence because you still have life and you still have things to which you are emotionally connected. But in order to move forward, you need to let your spirit carry you forward. I mean, whatever spirit is for you, it could simply just be time. Like, let time carry you forward. So what is going to help you is we have Manas reversed. Manas is the rune of humanity and your part in it. Just tune out the din of humanity during this time because that's not going to help you. The only thing that's going to help you is just letting yourself be carried forward naturally by spirit, by time, by just like the natural thing, the way that it's going to happen organically. So just basically don't let anybody tell you how to grieve. Absolutely not. Not even me. Please don't let me tell you. And what isn't going to help is we have Othala, which is in the home and the homeland. So there may be some pressure, given this one. There may be some pressure to like get it together and like, okay, I'm fine now. Because maybe around you, what you consider to be, home is going, come on, Hamlet, you've been wearing black for a month now. But also just this sense of you're worried that your home is never going to be the same. You're worried about your comfort zone. These are things that are going to drag you down. If that starts to be the case, bring yourself back up to, it's like, I'm not going to listen to any of that. I'm just going to let this happen naturally. I'm doing this. I've given it the space, and now I'm going to let myself naturally. It's like when you're not feeling well, and then you just sort of let yourself rest and let your body do the healing and let yourself heal, and just trust that eventually that's going to bring you back to where you want to be. And that's sort of this situation here. It's like you're trusting spirit, whatever spirit is for you, maybe it's even just time, will bring you back to where you want to be, or to a new place, which is also where you want to be. Your next step on the path line is Raido reversed. Raido is the rune of the journey. This has to do with this basically your life's journey. It is reversed in this step on the path line. So what this is saying is, like, once you are more on your feet after all of this, once you've been carried forward a little bit by just nature and time, you will be ready to close this chapter. Whatever this is, you will have completed that amount of mourning that you were doing, and you'll be able to sort of close that chapter. There's also a sense of inner journeying. So you may be sort of turning the journey inward a little bit, and maybe this is where you connect with the 2 cups that are still waiting for you. What is going to help you is we have Dagas, which is the rune of the breaking of the day. It's illumination, it's revelation, it's basically it's the coming of the dawn. It's the breaking of the dawn, breaking of the day. So at this point, things will become very much more clear for you. So this is why you realize, okay, I've actually gotten through this to a certain extent. I mean, you're never going to be, one is never fully over grieving, but one of the ways that I like to think about it is like the rings on a tree. You're never going to be over that ring where all the storms were, but you will build more rings around it, and you will become more than that moment, kind of thing. So things will become a lot clearer for you in this step. So that's what's going to help carry you forward. You'll be able to see more of what's going on around you. Your field of vision will be a little bit more illuminated. And that's what's going to help you put the lid on that, not lid, but like close the chapter on this, what was going on. What isn't going to help you is feeling impatient about things. You may feel like there's a really long road ahead of you, or you may feel impatient with your feelings about this that's going on. I mean, as I said, you'll always have this. You know, you're always going to, these are things that are always going to be with you. You need to give yourself the time to grieve. But you can't force this to go by faster. This is always going to be with you. So there is that impatience element, and just and that's going to drag you down if you let it. If that starts to be the case, bring yourself back up to where you are seeing more clearly now because you allowed yourself to do this, and that's going to carry you forward. Your last step in this particular spread is Thurizaz, which is the rune of the challenge. It's the thorn, the giant, the gateway. It's upright, so it's an open door. This is sort of like this is the exit. This is the light at the end of the tunnel that is not a train. That is not an approaching train. This is the light at the end of the tunnel. So when you get to this point, you will sort of see the door is open, and now you can step through and back into whatever you want your life to be at that point. But you will have done this thing, and that's really important. So let's get another card. Let's get a card from the Everyday Witch Oracle, and that'll give you a place to start with some of this. Let's see what we have. Fire magic. So there may be something where you will light a candle or 2 or 3 about this, candles or portals. So, and of course with the solar flares, that's like great big candle. So that's like big fire magic. So this is sort of like the portal element of fire, where it is a kind of a gateway. It is a kind of a door between worlds where you can actually say what you need to say into the fire and allow that to carry it through to whatever it is that you're mourning, that kind of thing. Just basically it's considering the gateway between worlds, or the portal between worlds that fire is, and that this is sort of allowing you to do that. This period of time with the solar flares happening is sort of like, okay, here's the flame, say what you need to say into the flame, and that's going to help you with your mourning. Just to say everything that you needed to say, because I was just saying in the other reading that I just finished, one of the things that's been happening really like lately, not just this past week, but lately, is just this sense of we need to get on with the things that we need to get on with. We need to do things once and for all. The things that we've been putting off, now we have to do them. Just like this urgency to that. So this is sort of like that. This is kind of like, okay, here's the flame. Everything you meant to say to or about these things, now is the time. Here's a giant flame, which is the solar flares. Say what you need to into the flame or into the aurora, as the case may be. If it's not cloudy for you, which it probably will be for us, say what you need to say. Everything you needed to say, get it off your chest. Get it out there. So that is your reading card number 2, people, for the solar flares are happening. Let's see about them. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 3, people. So let's get started with this card from the Lepus Tarot. Sorry, everything's falling over. Get this card from the Lepus Tarot. See what you've been dealing with in the past few days with all this. Yeah, so one of the things that the solar flares have sort of, that the time of the solar flares has corresponded with in your psyche is just this feeling of there's something that you're sort of leaving behind. It's not like the other one with the cups where you're leaving something behind and searching for something else. This is where you're sort of either like fleeing a situation, or this is sort of like a vision quest kind of thing. Like you are leaving the ordinary reality that you were in with basically only the cloaks on your back, and moving mythically, because when you're moving there, it's like a kind of a bardo state. So you're sort of on a mythic level, as well as perhaps physically moving to a different situation. Like you're just basically moving through this mythic world. This is sort of like a mythic world kind of thing, but there is sort of the almost refugee-like status that these megamorphs seem to be having. But it's basically like you are being carried for however this is resonating for you, out of a situation that you were in that had just become too dangerous or too difficult, and you needed to either leave it, just drop everything and just leave it with some help, or this is you looking at the situation and going, I need to go deep, and I need to have some mythic time on this, have some like Bardo state type time where I'm going to be addressing the things that are coming at me. So let's get some runes down and get some clarity on this. 2 came out for that. So let's see what your whole situation was that you were leaving. Yeah, things weren't moving forward, and it really was an end of a journey. So where you were, the situation that you were in, things had stopped moving forward for you. And so you're putting an end to that chapter. You're just saying, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And whether this is like going to be partly an inner journey, or because this might be an inner journey. This is literally the journey rune. This is Avaz. It's the horse. It's movement in spirit. It's reversed in the leading up line. So, so this is like things are not moving, and you want to take your spirit and look inward. This is you're ending a journey in a specific. Like you're ending a chapter kind of thing, but also you're turning the journey inward. So it's all of those things, perhaps one or more for you, leading up to this moment in time where you are expressing your truth and manifesting. You're manifesting something perhaps new for you. I'm going to lay down the rest of the reading. Let's move this down a little. These are really tall runes. So let's get this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I have to talk about Nauthiz again. Nauthiz in this rune set, I think they very, very carefully made it so that it doesn't have a reversal. Usually Nauthiz, you can see which is the reversal, but I can't tell with this one, so it has none, so I just basically read it as though it has none. Is that this one? Is that this one, really? Good, okay. Perfect. Okay, so your central issue in this card number 3, people, is Ansuz, which is the rune of communication and manifestation. You are definitely looking to manifest something for yourself that wasn't before, but you're definitely looking at that. You're looking to express, to communicate, but I'm seeing really a lot of like, let's manifest this. I want to speak what I need. I want to speak my needs, and I want to speak that into becoming. What is going to help you? We have Ivaz, which is the rune of the yew tree. This has to do with patience, slow growth, slow development, step by step. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the situation. Be patient with the manifestation. That's going to help you. And also just take it step by step. You are moving through a weird and eerie part of the path. I was about to say path, but the whole path isn't. But part of the path that you're on as you do this, which is almost mythic kind of steps on the journey, is you're going to need to take this step by step, and also to be very patient with yourself, with what you're seeing and with what you're doing. What isn't going to help is we have Lagus reversed. Lagus is the rune of water. It's emotion, intuition, heart, and flow. You're going to worry. I mean, same with the impatience. You may be a little bit impatient. Things may not feel like they're flowing forward the way you want to. Maybe the river is not moving or keeping you from moving as quickly as you'd like to, or it's moving more slowly. You can't push the river. You just would look silly and get wet. So, but what isn't helping is, you may feel like it's not flowing the way you want it to. And this is also connected with emotions. So you may have some negative emotions surging up, or you may be dealing with numbness. You may be dealing with, why can't I feel anything at this point? So whichever that is, it's going to drag you down if you let it. Bring yourself back up to, no, I'm taking this step by step, and I'm going to be patient with this and with myself. What your next step on the path line is going to be, it is a very difficult challenge. We have Thurisaz reversed. Thurisaz is the rune of the challenge. This is the thorn, the giant, the gateway. When it's upright, it's an open door. When it's reversed, it's a hard challenge. You may also be dealing with inner challenges at this point as well. Reversals often mean inner. So it is a very difficult challenge. It may be something that feels impossible of a challenge for you once you hit this step, because you know what you want, you know what you need, and you're trying to speak that need into being. However, as patient as you are, this seems like something that is going to feel very, very difficult for you, almost impossible. How are you going to get over this? Take care of what you know needs to be taken care of. Excuse me. We have Nauthies. There's no reversal on this particular Nauthies. I have looked at it upright, and I've looked at it reversed, and I've looked at it both ways, and I can't find a reversal on this one, so I'm going to read it both ways. Just basically take care of what you know needs to be taken care of. Get that foundation down. As long as your needs are taken care of, that will help you get past this feeling of the impossibility of the challenge. So just, make sure the laundry is done, make sure the dishes are done, make sure that you're getting up and you're having, you're getting clean, you're keeping, keeping yourself healthily fed, you're getting some exercise, just make sure you're hydrating, take care of your needs, make sure that the needs around you are to being tended to, and that is going to help you. If nothing else does, you can always do something of that, and you will feel like, I have accomplished something, and something I've made the world better. I've made my world better. What isn't going to help is we have Ingvaz. Ingvaz is the rune of Ing. Ing is another name for Frey, and Frey is the fertility god. I usually read this as active creation. You can't this comes back to trying to push the river. You can't force things to be what they are not. And it's only going to exhaust you if you try. So, but you may be tempted to try that because you're all about manifestation right now. You want to manifest the new reality around you where where what you need is around you. So there is going to be this temptation to just grab things and try to force them, and that's not going to help. It's never going to help because things can't be what they're not. So you have to just keep, the suggestion is just let this carry you forward and, take care of the needs that you can do, like do what you can do. And that's going to help you pass this feeling where it's just going to feel impossible. The nice thing is that immediately after that step, we have Dagaz, which is the breaking of the day. You will have a breakthrough. It's like the darkest time is just before the dawn kind of thing. This is literally the dawn rune. So when things feel absolutely the most impossible and you just sort of, it's like, I'm just doing what I can do, which is like, doing the, gather water and cook rice kind of thing. You're doing the things that you need to do. You're taking care of what needs to be taken care of. And if that's all you can do, then that's fine because it's something and it does move you forward. Suddenly there's going to be this great breakthrough where your entire field of vision is going to get illuminated and you're going to be able to see more clearly than you have in a very long time. I'm hoping this isn't actually saying there's going to be a great big solar flare and then everything is going to be crazy. But I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but as far as your path line goes, after the darkest hour comes the dawn. So the dawn is coming. And what is going to help you is just let it happen. Like let nature happen. We have Hagalaz, which is during the hailstorm. This has to do with, I often read this as chaos and things that are out of your control, but one of the main things is weather and also natural forces, natural energies. And so I'm going to read this, since it's in the helping line, as let nature happen. If you let things happen naturally, the dawn has happened, the day has broken, we can see more clearly. So let the nature happen. Like, let what is naturally happening, let what is naturally happening happen. And it's in the helping line, so it is definitely going to help. It's like you've pushed, and you've reached a point where it's like, I can't anymore. And then you want to wrestle with things, but you're like, okay, I'll just take care of what needs to be taken care of, being patient as much as you can. And suddenly, nature's on your side. I mean, it always kind of was, but it's kind of like more in this particular case where the seeds have been planted here and now they are happening, and this is what you actually were hoping for. What isn't going to help is you're still going to be worried about happiness. In fact, I'm also going to read this as, Vunyo, which is the rune of the joy. It's the rune of the joy. It's the rune of joy. There's even a sense of, if I'm happy, that means that happiness can be taken away, so I don't want to be happy because I don't want to lose it. Try not to worry about that. Try not to worry about, just like maybe you're worried that you're not super happy immediately. And these are all going to go together. It's like, this is like pushing the river and trying to force things. And then like, yes, but if I'm not immediately happy, then it's not worth it. It's like, you just be interested in the process. Let nature happen. You're seeing more clearly now. And that's a big thing. You got past the dark night. You're good with that. You're taking care of things. What all this is going to lead you to is, we have Pertho, which is the rune of the lot box. This has to do with surprises and fate. The surprises that are in the lot box are things that were always there. So it's like things are finally being revealed. Things are going to unlock and open for you, and things will be revealed. So all of this, like, you're getting from the point where you said, this isn't working anymore, I'm going to end this journey and I'm going to move forward, trying to manifest a better reality for myself. You did the work and you did the best you could, and you had to trust to nature happening to a certain extent. The dawn has broken and things are being revealed and unlocked. So it is good. It's on its way. Let's just get one more card. This is a card from the Everyday Witch Oracle, and it'll give you a sense of where to start with all of this, which is funny because I'm putting it at the ending, but it's where to start with this. Okay. Transformation and change. So you're already there. I mean, basically, you've been already there. The point where you're like, okay, something definitely has to change because things aren't moving forward. I've got to end this, and I've got to do that. So I think what this is basically saying is, yes, you want a different surrounding for yourself. You want to manifest a different reality around you. You have to be a part of that. You have to also be willing to become something that you haven't been before. And it's not something that you're not, but it's letting yourself bloom into something that is more you than you've ever been before, while also being something new. So that, card number 3, people, is your reading for, hey, there's solar flares happening. Let's see about them. I'm sure I will come up with a lot more nicer, oh my gosh, my grammar. I'm sure I will come up with a much more concise title for this. Although now I've said it a few times, it may be so funny that I might use it as the title. So that's your reading. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 4, people. So let's start with turning this card and seeing what you've been going through during the solar flare activity. So it's been a bit of a juggle for you. 2 of Pentacles. You are sort of really kind of feeling a little bit unsteady, topsy-turvy, trying to maintain balance. You're maintaining balance, and you can do it as long as you need to, but man, oh man, look at these waters. Look at you're maintaining balance, but just barely. And there's this sense of just this is a juggle. I can keep this up as long as I need to. I can do this all day, but this is a juggle. So it's been a bit of a juggle for you lately. Let's get some runes down. Ooh, that's neat. That's really neat. I wouldn't have, if I had picked any of them runes to go down for this, I wouldn't have picked that one, but that's cool. Yes, I'm going to lay down the entire reading. And then we're going to read it. How are you? Besides feeling like everything's a juggle. That's not fun. That's not a fun. It looks fun, but it's not. Unless you enjoy it, which it's kind of, you're doing the best you can. Dee. Alrighty. Whoa. What an ending. Okay. Central issue of card number 4, people, we have Isa, which is the rune of ice. This has to do with standstill, but it's the stillness through which clarity comes. This is something you would really like at this point. Leading up to this, you felt like the rug has been pulled out from under you. You felt like your hooves have been swept up. You've been swept up off your hooves. This is Uruz, the wild ox. This has to do with strength and health and stubbornness in that like resistance kind of thing, or being able to stand and be grounded. This is reversed and the leading up spot. So something has happened to just throw you right off, and you have felt like you've been forced into a situation that you have not had any say in, and you feel like you can't resist this. Like you can't get your hooves under you to the point where you can resist what's going on. Your strength's been affected. You feel like your strength's been called into question. You feel like your health is in question. There's like, it's just like things are feeling like upside down and topsy-turvy. So you're trying to regain balance and you're trying to maintain balance. So you are really focused right now on Isa, which is the rune of ice, which is the rune of standstill, and the stillness through which clarity comes. If you could just be still, excuse me, for like a minute, and then get some clarity on what's going on, you'd be able to feel that clarity come through, and then you'd be like, okay, I can be steady, I can do that. And you can be steady as this, but it's still a juggle, because things are just inherently juggly. What is going to help you? Just do what you need to do. Take care of your duties and responsibilities. We have Tivaz, which is the rune of Tyr. Tyr's the warrior god. He does have to do with driving forward, with your energetically driving forward on quests and things. However, he also has very much to do with taking care of what needs to be taken care of and tending to duties and responsibilities. So there are things that you know you need to take care of. You are taking care of them. It's a juggle, but you are doing that. And it's by doing that, it's like the Red Queen. It's like you're running as fast as you can to stay where you are. So it's just like in order to maintain this. But through that, as long as you keep taking care of the things that need to be taken care of, make that your meditation, and that will help you get a certain stillness that clarity can come through. What isn't helping you is this feeling like you are not getting the support that you need, that you are having to go this alone. We have Algae's reversed, which is the rune of the elk, also known as the moose, and this has to do with protection and support. It's reversed, so you feel like it's all on you, and that can lead to a certain amount of resentment, which can drag you down. But you know what? It's all on everybody individually right now. Like things are just like crazy. And so there's a certain amount of what's going on that everybody is facing alone. You all can help each other. We all can help each other by support, by just like emotional support perhaps. But ultimately there are things that all of us are having to face alone, and we don't have any other choice. It's basically, this is our thing that we came to do. So this is our thing. We have tickets for it. So if this starts to be the case, just like go, no, you know what? I'm going to do this. This is my quest. So I'm going to see this as my quest, and I'm going to just take care of the things that need to be taken care of. Just basically make sure that's in order so that I can keep getting the clarity coming through on things and have whatever stillness this affords. Because as long as you're doing that, there is a certain amount of rest involved. Like once you've done it, it's like, okay, I'm taking care of things, and that gives me the foundation that I can sort of stand steadily on, which I didn't have a moment before. What this is going to lead you to, your next step, is we have Raido reversed. Raido's the rune of the journey. This has to do with the journey, is your life journey, your endeavors, your moving forwards. However, it is reversed on the path line. I'm going to read this a couple of ways. First of all, there is something that you'd been going through that you're going to want to close at this point, or that you will you'll draw to a close at this point. Maybe it's whatever it was that knocked you off your feet. You'll be able to put to rest. You'll be able to close that chapter. This also may have to do with bringing your journey inward. You may at this point, after you've sort of maintained a certain amount of equilibrium by taking care of the things that need to be taken care of, you may say, okay, I'm going to go inward because I'm going to need to make this foundational solidity go deep so that I can have as much solidity as possible. So you want a journey, you're going to turn that journey inward at the same time as closing the chapter on something that you had been dealing with. What's going to help you there in either sense? We have Fehu, which is the rune of wealth and worth. It's not wealth like money, it's wealth like cattle. So as long as you're taking care of, there are things that as long as you're taking care of them will keep your life of worth and keep your life rich. And this goes along with Tivas here, where you're taking care of your duties and responsibilities. So as long as you're doing that, the cattle are being tended, and the cattle will continue to keep your life of worth and bring worth to your life and bring the sense of richness to your life. So it's not reversed, it's outer. So it's basically going to be very practical. You're taking care of the things that you need to take care of in order to keep your life good. So it's still the juggle, it's still the balance, but you're seeing this more as a quest now, so you're making sure of all of this. What isn't going to help at that point is you are going to worry, same as when you were worried that it's like I'm facing this alone, you're going to feel like my options are very narrow right now. We have Kaunaz reversed, which is the rune of expansion and opening out, is the torch or the fire. Reversed on the lower line, it's like I'm feeling like I don't have any other options. Like I'm doing this and I'm doing it well and I can do it all day, but I feel like I don't have a choice. And there's, again, resentment about that, but that will drag you down if you let it, the whole feeling of resentment about it. So bring yourself back up to, but look what I'm doing. Yes, I don't have a choice in the matter, but I'm doing this really well. Like I'm actually taking care of things and I'm making sure that what needs to be taken care of is taken care of. And as a result, my life is pretty good. And it's because of what I'm doing. And so I should be proud of myself for that. I am worthy. I can feel my worth. I know what I'm worth because I've been doing this, and it's really, really important. And look at the poor boat on the water; it's getting all sloshed around. It's like sometimes you just have to catch your breath while you're in the air, like while you're being tossed in the air. So it's tricky, but there is still the opportunity for stillness and clarity within that, as long as you continue to make sure that the things that give you foundation and that give your life richness and worth are being taken care of. Your next step on the path line, we have Gabo, which is the rune of the gift. This has to do with an exchange. The gift is always an exchange. It's not, that's like an ancient Norse thing. You didn't just give a gift. You always would get, whatever you gave, you'd get something. So it was always an exchange when there was a gift. So it's agreements, decisions, plans, and goals. It's also like, okay, I dealt with that. You may feel a sense of accomplishment at this point where, yeah, I did that. I've taken care of that. I have reached that point. But it may also be at this point you saying, okay, I know what's working for me. Let's make some plans now. Let's set some goals. Let's make some decisions about things going forward. Really, though, this does feel like, okay, I got through this. I made it through the extremely difficult thing that I've been juggling through. And what's going to help you with that is there is going to be a moment where things are just going to bloom around you. Your entire field of vision will just light up. We have Dagaz, which is the rune of the breaking of the day. It is going to feel like a breakthrough. You're going to have this epiphany of, hey, you know what? This is because of all of this, and I've worked really hard on this. Things are pretty good. I can see more clearly than I have been able to see before, and things have cleared up. So this is basically the dawn. So after you get through all of this, the reason you're going to feel a sense of satisfaction is that you will have reached the dawn. The dawn will have broken. And so you'll have the illuminations and the revelations, and you're like, okay, now there is light. And I can see that. And look, we've got like that and that, very similar. The balance has been attained. What isn't going to help is we have Ansu's reversed. Ansu's is the rune of communication and manifestation. It's like you feel like I have nobody to talk to about this. I have nobody to express this to. I have to be quiet about this, and it's like nobody is talking to me about this. And it's kind of like, I almost like can't even trust this because it's reversed here. And I really am seeing these all going together. It's like, here's your resentment about having to go this alone. Here's your resentment about your options feeling narrowed. And here's your resentment about, I can't share this. I feel like I can't share this with anybody. But, you can. But at the same time, this was something that was yours, that you went through, and that it's you may be worried about what your inner communication is saying, like you may be not trusting that we have come through it finally. I want to get one more. How much time do we have? I want to get one more on the top and the bottom for this line. Yeah, the end of the beginning. So this is, at this point, with this revelation and with the breaking of the day, you've reached the end of the beginning, and you realize this. She's like, okay, this was sort of a beginning, is like getting knocked off my feet and having to find my balance and maintain it. But once you get that breakthrough moment, you're going to be like, okay, that was a beginning, but now I have the flow of it, and I'm pretty good at it. So it's the end of the beginning. For what isn't helping you, it's really, I'm sort of more and more seeing this sense of mistrust of what's being communicated. You're sort of like almost not trusting inwardly this. And that's because this is like way out of your comfort zone. You're still missing the comfort zone that you came from before you got knocked off your feet. So if that starts to be the case, bring yourself back up too. It's like, no, look at what I've attained. Look at my field of vision is completely clear right now. So the beginning has ended, and now I can move forward. And your final rune, which is like, oh my God, what an ending. But it's Hagalaz, which is the rune of the hailstorm. This has to do with, sometimes I'll read this as chaos and things that are out of your control, but it is also weather, and it is also nature. And given all of this and what started this, I think what this is saying is, first of all, when you reach this point, if you're ready for anything, it's like, if I can get through this, if I can find my balance within this and maintain it, I can handle anything. And I'm pretty comfortable right now at this point with this. Like, this is sort of evened out, and I'm pretty good with this. This has become like, I've become a new heart to pump through the things in my life, to keep them in balance. And so you're ready for anything. And you are also seeing yourself as a force of nature at this point, like, which you already were, but you're seeing yourself more as a force of nature that is, something that can be, my troubles are going to have troubles with me kind of thing. So let's get this final card down from the Everyday Witch Oracle and see if it can give you something which is a place to start with all of this. Oh my gosh, we only have seconds left. Okay, well, this one wanted to jump out. And we have gratitude and thanks. Yeah, so keep gratitude in your heart. That is always going to be a good key to everything. Definitely going to help you in this, like to be grateful for what you do have, and just, trust, well, yourself anyway. No, but just gratitude is going to help you the most. So that, card number 4, people, is your reading for, hey, it's solar flares. What about them? I wish you all the best with that, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.